execution just hasn't been there from you. What went wrong this time?
I think I need to reserve full judgment just till I watch the tape. I can probably think of 3 or 4 plays off the top of my head. Just my feet are wasn't clean with my feet, which seems to be that's a good indicator if the play's going to go well for me or not. I think Iowa State played really hard. They played well. Good defense. Just got to be better next week.
What are the emotions like after a tough rivalry loss like this?
About what you'd expect. It's a great rivalry, but really sucks when you don't come out on top. But credit to those guys for playing hard and earning the victory.
What was the discussion at halftime about offensively, and was there any indication that whether they would stick with you or just kind of business as usual?
At halftime we're trying to make our adjustments in the pass game. That's what we're focused on in there. Is just all right. What are we seeing that maybe we didn't expect? How can we attack it? So that was halftime.
Did they bring different looks to you today that maybe you didn't anticipate?
The only thing just maybe once or twice, but I think we got to kind of had, the first couple third downs was key for that. But after that, we knew what they were trying to do.
What was your vantage point on Monty's fumble at the goal line? Did you think he scored?
I did. Yep. That's just from the video on the big screen. I don't get to. I'm carrying out a fake after that, so I didn't see it live, but looked like it. But we still had plenty of opportunity to go score other than that drive. So if it was a bad call, which I'm not saying it was, then it doesn't matter. It's going to happen. We gotta do better.
Spencer, personally, 3 years in this program, I know this was a difficult beginning of the season, and especially this rivalry situation. I know you hear the outside noise. Is your confidence at all shaken by what you hear or what's going on out there?
No, so for the most part, I'm the only time I get that exposure is just during the games. I don't have social media. So no, I think that the biggest thing is just going to work every day and working to improve. Because I still feel like this is not, representative of our offense, and that's, I'm sure, not what is people want to hear, because that's what we've shown the last 2 weeks. But the process is kind of a long and winding road. Sometimes it all comes together. Sometimes it all comes unraveled. It's an old George Strait song, but I still have a lot of high hopes for our unit and for our team. This doesn't change any of our goals. Only thing we can't be now is undefeated. But the rest of our goals are still out in front of us. And it sounds like a broken record, but the key is just improving. I truly do believe that there's good in front of this unit. We just got to go do it.
What's happening in practices that you just haven't seen yet in games?
Just consistent execution.
Sorry if this was asked, I ran in a little late here. You're always really candid with this. What is the biggest problem right now, do you think, with the offense? Just inability to move the football?
I can only speak to, I can't, without watching the film, off the top of my head, I can think of probably 3 or 4 plays that were on me. I'm sure there's going to be more after looking at the tape. Never really know, though. It's just one of those things. It's hard to give you a good answer. Just consistent execution. That's what we need.
How difficult is it to really only have one scholarship receiver available? As far as formationally and groupings and kind of a full assortment of your playbook to now be able to run exactly what you want to run.
Yeah, you got to get creative. And I think just we have some versatile guys. which help us out. I think if Sam and Luke weren't so versatile, it might put us in more of a crunch than I think we are in. But yeah, I just give credit to the guys we do have, because they're not getting much rest at all, which is atypical, and they're still busting their ass every single play. But yeah.
Take 2 more.
How soon till you look at the film?
I don't know. At the latest tomorrow morning.
What's Brian's message to the sidelines during the game when maybe things are not going well? What is he telling you?
Yeah, one thing I if it's a self-induced issue, like with me, then he's let me know that. A lot of times I know when it is, just coming off the field. The big point of emphasis is my feet. Just getting the ball out on time, because that's been the issues. The issues I've had the last 2 weeks have been just feet and timing. And then, for the most part, after that we get it's a quick debrief, and then we're on to, all right, what did they do? How are we going to attack it next? So, it's always just quick look back, and then proactive moving forward.
Thanks, Spencer.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Questions for Lucas? Yes, the 2 blocks, was that something that you guys saw in practice?
Yeah, Coach Woods dialed that up all week. He had me. We noticed that Iowa State, they had their 2 guys in the shield, which are the guys that protect the punter, offset off the line a little bit. So they had me line up, and they basically gave me a straight shot to run at the shield and get my hand out there and block a couple punts. So obviously I was able to get there a couple of times, but again, it wasn't enough. And hats off to Iowa State.
What was going through your mind on that first block punt?
I was just happy to try to make a difference, but I wish I could have done something a little bit more.
When a winning streak against a rival like this kind of ends, just what's the feeling right now for you guys?
Yeah, we win as a team, we lose as a team. We played our hearts out there today, and we obviously came out on the losing side, and we're definitely really disappointed. It's it's a heartbreaker, it hurts a lot, and we're just have to regroup and come in tomorrow, watch some film, and continue to be a work in progress and get ready for this upcoming week.
How do you do that? How do you guys put, whether it's just an unbalanced type of performance, let's say, between different units, how do you all come together and not start pointing fingers?
We don't ever point fingers in our building. Like I just said, we win together, we lose together. Everything happens. Everything that happens out there, it's not a result of one specific person or one specific thing that goes on. That's just the nature of the game. And you win some, you lose some. But again, like I said, we come in on Sundays, we watch film, look at where we can improve, where we can be better, and then we take it from there.
Seemed like you guys had trouble getting off the field on 3rd downs, obviously on their 99-yard drive. It can't be perfect, but what kind of happened, do you feel like, on those 3rd downs where they were able to convert?
Yeah, they definitely outplayed us there on that drive, and I think they did a good job at attacking the edges and getting the ball to the outside the perimeter. Just taking advantage of the game plan that we had a little bit. But, I think they just did a great job overall, and they outplayed us today.
What did you think of their quarterback, Deckers?
I think he did a good job.
Anything that surprised you in terms of the defensive line about them?
I think that the game plan that we had, set was, pretty similar to what we saw this week or during the game, and I think the coaches did a great job at dialing it up. But again, we're work in progress, and we're going to continue to work on, working on this unit, work on this team, and we'll be here next week, ready to go.
2 more questions.
I know it's tough to be too optimistic after a tough loss like this, but how much of a confidence boost is it to have 2 big plays on special teams?
More than anything right now, it's just the only metric that matters for me is winning a game. And obviously we didn't do that today, so it hurts a lot, and I'll just leave it at that.
when the Tottenham fumble happens, are you looking up at the board a little bit, or are you getting ready to play defense potentially? Because obviously that's a big swing.
Yeah.
They're celebrating a touchdown, or you're back out there inside the one.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to the refs at that point, and you can, just sit there, be ready to go. They say D-hot, and they call us down, and we group up, and offense is there, defense is there, and whatever the refs call is what we bring out, and whatever they give us is whatever we defend.
Okay, thank you, Lucas.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, questions for Sam?
What are the emotions like after a tough rivalry loss like this?
Oh, it's really frustrating, especially when you've put in the work since January and you know that you're capable, you know that you've put in the work and you feel like you're deserving, and we had to go out and earn it, and we didn't do that tonight.
With the offense, what's preventing it from being consistent and sustaining drives? It's kind of a 2-week issue now.
I think the synergy of all 11 guys working together has just missed a piece here and there, and that's football at the end of the day. It's a very imperfect game, and if one guy on offense fails to execute his job on any given play, it's usually a bad play. We don't benefit from one guy have a mess up or a mistake. So, I mean, with hindsight, you get to go back and look at the film and you say, oh, well, maybe it was that guy on that play, or maybe it was me on that play, and that's the reality of football, and we got to eliminate those mistakes and those mental errors.
Sam, is it an experience issue, or, younger players, maybe new roles on the offense?
I don't think it's an experience issue. I think it's all 11 guys. I made mistakes today, no doubt about it, and I've played 1,000+ snaps out there on that field. So I'll be the first one to say that I definitely messed up today when I go look at the film tomorrow. I know I messed up on some plays. So I don't think it's an experience issue at all, but just one guy messing up on any particular play.
How confident were you during the week that this was going to be a much better day for the offense than it was last week?
I felt like we executed our game plan really well during the week. It's always different when bullets are flying and you adapt on the run. But I felt confident coming into this game, and I felt like we made a big jump during the week, focusing on improvement and the fundamentals. As I said before, getting to go back and look at that film from the week prior. And I felt like we did make a big jump in some areas today, but we still have a long way to go.
And talking to Spencer and the other coaches, they've talked a lot about how the lack of receivers dictates how defenses are playing the tight ends. From your vantage point, what are defenses doing to you and Luke over the last 2 weeks?
I mean, I only see what I see and how I'm getting played on any particular play, but with hindsight, you get to go back and look at the film and see exactly how I was getting played, if I was getting doubled or in out or just man-to-man, or if zone coverage was the problem. But, I mean, I guess you could make an excuse for lack of receivers. We're not. We're still going to go back to work tomorrow, and we're not going to make up an excuse for saying that we don't have receiver depth or tight end depth or anything. We don't think that's an excuse. So we feel like we have guys that are capable of going out and making plays and executing at the highest level. That's how we feel.
We hear about how this isn't representative of what's happening in practice. What's clicking in practice that's not clicking in games?
Like I said, it's different when the bullets are flying. Sometimes you screw up a play in practice and it's a big hitter out here on game day. You just never know what play is going to be, I guess just a bad play or a good play. And it's really minuscule. There's a few plays in every game that kind of make the difference at the outcome at the end of the game.
Sam, through a couple weeks, how would you assess Spencer's play at quarterback?
I feel like he's commanding the offense pretty well, and I think we're going to keep relying on him and leaning on him for his experience and his leadership on the offense, and I think he's doing a great job. And the average fan or the average reporter, or you guys might shit on him, but I don't. I see what he does in practice, and I see the work that he puts in the film room and everything. So.
Okay, thanks, Sam.
It would be a pretty physical game out there. You were moving back and forth a little bit, but what's your assessment? 11 tackles. It's a pretty long day. But what's your assessment of the way the defense performed?
Yeah, I think there's some good plays. There were some plays that we need to clean up. But that's what the film's for. So we're going to come back tomorrow we'll watch it. We'll learn from the mistakes we made. I think everybody played hard. We just didn't do enough to get the win.
What are the emotions like in the locker room after a loss like this?
Yeah, obviously it sucks for everybody, but we win as a team, we lose as a team. So we're just gonna, like I said, we're gonna come back tomorrow, learn from the tape, then move on and get ready for next week.
Do you guys feel like you had the momentum there for a while after you kept on stopping them like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of went back and forth with everything that happened in the game. That's how football is. Momentum shifts during the game. But I think overall we just didn't do enough, and we're going to get better as a whole team and come back and be ready for next week.
The interception, did you just read that one correctly?
Yeah, I was just trying to do my job, playing in my zone, and then just going in after the ball.
How do you stay patient when one phase of the game isn't going so well while the other two are?
You just got to stay locked in mentally to your assignment every time you're on the field, and just keep fighting, fight for each other as a whole team.
Did anybody say anything? I know Jack Campbell was pretty vocal last week in here, but like just on the sideline, obviously offense wasn't performing, but to keep you guys kind of stuck together as a defense.
Yeah, I think like I said, we win as a team, we lose as a team. It's a team sport. So as a defense, we're just going to go out there every time, no matter when our number's called. We're just going to keep trying to do our job. So yeah.
How tough was Hutchinson out there? It seemed like he was involved here.
Yeah, he's a pretty good receiver. He gave us he had a few catches. I'm not sure how many, but yeah, he's a really good receiver. Tough to cover. So yeah.
How much of a learning experience has the last two games been for you starting in both?
Yeah, it's been a huge learning experience. I mean, just getting out there and understanding like the speed of the game and what all goes on, and understanding different situations and things like that. So it's been a little bit of change, but I'm starting to get used to it.
A couple more.
Anything that Riley or one of the other veterans have been telling you as you kind of get a little more thrown into the fire?
Yeah, really just to stay calm and focus on my assignment each and every play. I think that's what we all do as a defense if everybody's doing their jobs and things go well.
Did you face Hunter in high school?
I did not. No.
Okay.
No. He left. We played him the year after he left.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thanks.
When you look at that long drive, what were they able to do to sustain it? How you guys get off the field?
I think it was just lack of execution on our part on third downs, getting off the field in that aspect, and so too many chunk plays that we gave up too, and so that's I think what kind of affected it.
And you guys have given up one touchdown all year, but, so it feels hard to harp on the defense, but on a 21-play drive, do you get gassed out there at all, or I mean, how does that?
No, that's why we condition during practice and why we try to treat practice like games. We're just all trying to go out there and do the best that we can, and fortunately, on that drive we didn't do that. So.
What challenges did Hunter Deckers pose?
Yeah, he's a great quarterback. Obviously, he can sling it, and then he was also able to run it a little bit too with his legs. So you kind of got to be aware of that on the ground, and so that kind of causes problems as well. So.
How emotionally draining is it, especially considering you guys had a winning streak against them, to see them go out and get that trophy?
Yeah, it's something that you don't ever want to think about, but we're going to try to move past it and look at the tape, try to get better from it, and then come back next week and hopefully try to get a win.
I'm not sure if you had a good look at this and if you had an opinion, but on the call where DeJean, I think he got flagged for a personal foul pushing Deckers out. That was a big call. looked like on TV was inbound. What do you guys coach to do in that situation when he gets near the sideline?
I mean, we're just coached just to try to keep playing. When he's in bounds, just try to force him out, I guess. I didn't really have a good view at it, honestly, so I don't really know.
You guys continue to force turnovers. How much pride do you guys have in that, and why do you think you're able to keep that up at such a high rate?
Yeah, we're just anytime on the defense we can get a turnover and try to create points. That's what we're trying to do, and we're not trying to go out there and gamble or anything, but we're just trying to play our game. And if a turnover comes, then it's great.
How have you seen Cooper step up in these 2 games with Jamari out?
Yeah, he's been doing a really great job. To see his growth, he came in as a young guy in special teams, and I think he just continues to get better and better, and hopefully that keeps going.
Anything else? Okay, thanks, Mike.